Dragon Ball Z is one of the most popular entertainment franchises, and it has left an undeniable mark on pop culture in its native Japan and the world. Initially released in 1989 after its predecessor Dragon Ball, it would not be until 1996, when the animated series ended, that Dragon Ball Z would reach the Western world. But even then, it would be some time before the franchise caught on. And maybe some spoilers ahead, so if you yet to watch Dragon Ball, read the original manga or watch the abridged, and do that first. I thought of doing a video review of Dragon Ball, but everyone does that already, so I decided to talk about something unique to us, its English-speaking audience. No, not the subject of English dub versus original Japanese, that's been done already, but I decided to talk about English dub versus English dub. For most fans in the West, the most renowned English dub of Dragon Ball Z, its predecessor, and other incarnations has consistently been by American dubbing company Funimation Entertainment, and starring many now famous names in the anime dubbing industry, including Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel. Indeed, while Dragon Ball has many a history of different subjects, one of them is its many attempts at being dubbed into English. The result was many various English dubbed adaptations. The most known English dub of Dragon Ball Z, opposite to Funimation's dub, is by Canadian studio Ocean Productions. And unless you grew up in the 90s, or like most of us outside the USA, or like most of us looked up these videos online, then you may not be familiar with this dub. You may be familiar with some of the voice actors though.
Oh, that tub of lard was a good warm-up, yes?
Come, join Rolf with the traditional eels of forgiveness.
So if you're not familiar with the history of this English dub, Funimation was founded in 1994 by Japanese-American businessman Gen Fukunaga, whose uncle was a producer at Toei. This company created the Dragon Ball animated series. Dragon Ball was Funimation's first big get, but the company was still small. At first, it relied on partners to get television distribution and had to outsource voice acting. Originally, Funimation joined BLT Productions to produce the first 13 episodes of Dragon Ball. But due to poor ratings, Funimation decided that the more action-packed sequel, Dragon Ball Z, would be more marketable. For much of the 90s, they partnered with Saban Entertainment to produce these episodes, and Funimation relied on Canadian studio Ocean Group to complete its voice acting, and insert new music by Shuki Levy, famous for the Power Rangers theme. With Saban backing them, Funimation had to do a lot of editing to make these episodes family friendly. A lot.
I'm phasing into another dimension. Wish me back, okay?
Unheard of now in our current faithful purified English dubbing days, but common practice back then. For kids who grew up in the 90s, this would be the dub they first knew when they were introduced to Dragon Ball Z. Only 53 episodes, edited from 67 original episodes of Dragon Ball Z, were dubbed before Funimation parted ways with Saban and switched to in-house talent, the current voice cast of the English dub, and what is now the most famous version of English Dragon Ball. They would later redub the first 67 episodes to create a consistent dub and correct dubbing errors, including script mistakes. Ocean Group would return to Dragon Ball Z again after AB Group contracted them for a Canadian and European release. This dub has sometimes been called the Westwood dub to distinguish it from the earlier dub with Funimation. They mostly finished the series, albeit on a quicker and sloppier budget.
No!
For example, they used stock music from other shows, and Goku's voice actor Peter Kelamis left and was replaced by Kirby Morrow halfway through.
You're joking! Oh man, that's too much!
Majin Buu may be stronger than anyone I've ever faced before, but I know that there's still a way to win.
But despite all those heavy censorships and cheaper production values, Ocean's dub, even all these years later, still has a devoted fan base. And not just that, but fans who even prefer it to Funimation's dub. But why? I mean, Why would anyone prefer this dub to Funimation's? After all, wasn't it Funimation's dub that made Dragon Ball Z a success in the West? Their dub and cast are the most famous in the business, and the fandom. Funimation's dub has been the most consistent among all the English dubs. They've been producing their dub for the longest time now. Funimation has achieved everything and more. Why, Ocean's later dub never even had a home media release. Shouldn't that make Funimation the best? Even just by default? Well, growing up a long time ago, I came to realize that Funimation's in-house dub of Dragon Ball Z is...
I do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, and I drink plenty of juice.
More like burnt toast.
I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace.
Cat loves food, yeah.
I can win! I feel great! I can do this!
Nice move, but your shoe came untied.
Krillin in the house!
Not the masterpiece I remembered to be. I said what I said. Funimation's in-house dub received mixed reviews upon its initial release and throughout the years. In their review of What's Wrong with Dragon Ball Z, IGN criticized many of the voices as being very annoying.
How did you acquire this new strength? Enlighten me!
And over the top. Not in a good way.
I command you now, hear my howl to make my wish come true!
I also thought many of the voice actors were trying to sound very tough.
Plus, he saved us from Frieza.
Which to me came across a lot of times as very deep and raspy.
That's awful. Gosh.
And while I like some of the dub's musical notes by Bruce Falconer, his soundtrack overall is repetitive and overbearing in its techno sound. And when it wasn't boosting up the action scenes, I thought it sounded cringe. I became less attached to Funimation's dub and more open to other adaptations. And thanks to growing up in the days of DVDs, Blu-rays and the internet, I became more familiar and more open to other variations of Dragon Ball Z, namely the original Japanese, the abridged, and especially Ocean's dub. I can't speak for everyone who still appreciates this dub, but this is my own opinion as to why Ocean dub, even all of these years later, still has a loyal fan base. But didn't Ocean's dub butcher Dragon Ball Z? Making so many edits and censoring?
They blew up the cargo robot!
Animal, it sounded as if you were trying to second guess one of my decisions. Were you? Guess you were blasted to another dimension for no reason at all.
Fortunately, the area was abandoned at the time.
To clarify things, the first 50 episodes by Ocean Group were edited and produced by Funimation, in association with Sabat. The edits were a requirement for US television. Ocean Productions is a professional voice acting company that has been providing performances for many years, well before Funimation contracted them to work on DBZ. Some of their work includes English dubs of Inuyasha, Mobile Suit Gundam, and Death Note, and Western animations such as My Little Pony and Ed, Edd and Eddy. The best example of their work on Dragon Ball Z would be the first 3 DBZ movies, produced by Funimation in association with Pioneer.
Some cicadas are larvae for 13 years and some are for 17 years. That must be a hard life.
Gohan, dinner time!
My favorite time of the day.
Let's go!
Once I have the power of the Dragon Balls at my command, we can take revenge on our enemies.
Power Ball Exchange!
Hey, Daddy.
Who the hell are you?
Put the boy down now.
What if I refuse to obey?
Then die.
And for a long time, many consider those movies to be the best dubbed works in the franchise. But I hear you say, well then, if Ocean Group did so well, why did Funimation let them go after the first 50 episodes? When Funimation took over, Dragon Ball Z became a success in the USA. Funimation and its voice cast took over the dub and boosted the show's quality and appeal, and their fame today is a testament to their acting skills. Oh, actually, Dragon Ball Z was already successful and popular with audience during its Ocean Dub days. That was why dubbing continued. The fans wanted more of the show. Dragon Ball Z would have been a success no matter how the English dub was made. I mean, it's been a big hit in its native Japan for a long time now. The reason for letting Ocean Cast go was entirely a business decision rather than a creative one. The producers at Funimation regularly flew from their location in Texas all the way to Ocean Studios in Vancouver to do the recordings. They wanted to move all production to their local company for practical reasons. If Ocean Group had not done an excellent job, then Funimation would not have encouraged their later in-house cast to mimic the original Ocean cast. Even Chris Sabat has a high opinion of them.
Everything I say about the Ocean cast, by the way, needs to be prefaced by the fact that those guys are mother effing amazing.
Legends.
They are incredible. All of those guys are incredible.
But now I hear you say, okay, so Ocean did do a good job. But Ocean was only fitting for the first 50 episodes of DBZ, and was not appropriate for the rest of the series. That's where Funimation was suited. The Ocean cast sounds younger, while the Funimation cast sounds older and more diverse, and the change in cast reflects the character's aging. Well, changing a character's voice right in the middle of a saga does not reflect their aging.
Sorry, I saw an opening that seemed to scream out attack.
Strong fighters, but with weak characters. Hey, my voice just changed.
As for Ocean Group sounding younger, that has more to do with the nostalgia of some fans remembering these voices from the early episodes. And if you want to completely devalue the theory of changing a character's voice just to reflect their aging, go watch the original Japanese Dragon Ball series. Toei has hired Masako Nozawa as Goku's voice since he was a little boy.
Son Goku.
And who says that Ocean Group is not diverse in their performance? When fans say that Ocean Group does not suit the latter part of Dragon Ball Z, have they even watched Ocean's dub entirely? Saffron Henderson subtly changed her voice of Gohan to reflect Gohan's age.
I remember that my dad's the strongest fighter in the whole world!
I think Piccolo was right about you, Dad. You're way too easy on me to train me right. You've got to push!
If Funimation kept Ocean cast for the entirety of the Dragon Ball series, fans would praise them as the only voice cast to voice the show and its characters. Many fans may not agree with me on that, but many of us also used to think that Funimation's in-house dub was...
Mondo cool!
Ugh. But why do you say does Ocean's later dub, which suffered from a cheaper budget, still have a fan base? Well yes, no one can deny that. But that is perhaps the reason why fan debate over which dub was better continues even today. Because, in all fairness, Ocean Group was not given the right production quality, which can tamper even the best actor's performance. Say what you will about this dub's directing, editing, or censorship, I chose to appreciate Ocean Group for its merits. And its most outstanding merits are its voice actors. Before Sean Schemmel became famous for the role, Goku was first voiced by Ian Corlett, and followed by Peter Kelamis, who continued into Ocean's later dub until Kirby Morrow succeeded him. One thing that fans praise Schemmel for more than anything else is making Goku the superpowered He-Man that he is. Schemmel indeed has the drive and power to play the hero's role.
Allied to good! Nightmare to you!
And the reason many fans enjoy watching Dragon Ball is to feel pumped. That's what we remember most fondly of him. And because of that, Sean Schemmel is not my favourite Goku.
What?
I said what I said. Ian Corlett has been praised for creating a happy, youthful, energetic performance, which is who Goku is.
Well, I'm really not sure what to expect.
And he began the routine that other actors followed up on.
As grim as things look right now, I kinda like the challenge.
Peter Kelamis has been praised for taking those character traits to the nth degree.
Why is this thing in here? It's no good.
Still, perhaps his most received praise is being the closest to replicating Nozawa's performance.
Bring it on! You can't beat me, I'll take you all on!
In addition to that, Peter Kelamis is my favourite Goku. Yes, Schemmel portrays Goku's cheerful side as well, and he portrays it alright. Still, we remember him for his Super Warrior performance more than anything. And while Kirby Morrow is not my favourite Goku either, he nevertheless was a terrific voice actor, and will always be missed. And before Chris Sabat starred in the role, Vegeta was made famous by Brian Drummond. And when I hear Drummond as Vegeta, I can listen to an evil, conniving, maniacal individual.
I keep forgetting that you're an Earthling now. You don't even have a tail, do you?
Which is who Vegeta is, or what many of us remember him to be.
Yes, that's the spirit, android. Never give up!
But even later in the dub, I believe Drummond's portrayal of Vegeta reforming.
Brian Drummond described his voice of Vegeta as a prince, someone small in size, to which he added touches of smug, arrogance, and malice. Just remove those latter touches and...
Amazing. This day has made it all too clear. You are better than me, Kakarot. You are the one.
And seeing how I praised Oceancast so much in this video while being more critical of Funimation's dub, between Brian Drummond and Chris Sabat as Vegeta, it may alarm you further to hear that I think...
Both is good.
That's right, my friend.
Yes, Chris Sabat is perhaps the top actor at Funimation.
Holy cosmos! That's one whopper of a lizard!
Well, eventually.
Welcome to the end of your life.
And there is reason why Sabat is now one of the most high-profile actors in the industry.
When I hear fans say that Brian Drummond is only good at the evil Vegeta, while Chris Sabat is more suited to the anti-hero Vegeta, not only is that a discredit to both actors, but to me, that's like saying James Earl Jones can only voice Darth Vader when he's evil. And don't tell me that Jones doesn't sound evil and that's why he's able to voice Vader whenever he's good. Jones was hired for the role of Vader because he has, quote, a darker voice. If Spider-Man No Way Home taught me something, one actor isn't better than the other. They're just different. And that's how I see Drummond and Sabat in the role. And perhaps nowhere is both their worth shown more than in Funimation's dub of Dragon Ball Super.
You're nothing but a pathetic imposter! I can't!
Is this what you'd like to do to me? Too bad.
Oh no!
But to prove I'm not a cop-out for this guy.
Regarding Piccolo, I like Scott McNeil's performance over Sabat's. And the reason is... Come on! Which one sounds more interesting to you?
That's not gonna happen. What you and that monster have done is unforgivable. Call your monster, so we can watch you die. There's only one chance you'll beat him, and that's if I go with you. Huh? I know we're enemies, but you want him out of the way so you can get your kid back. So I think it's best if we team up. Agreed? When I'm finished with you, you'll be helpless. Try to imagine how it'll feel to live unable to do anything with all that power you possess. Then you'll know what hell is really like.
Goku! Don't fire any more of your energy waves! They absorb energy through their hands and it'll only make them stronger! Understand?
And even in the later dub. Despite their production shortcomings, and using the same script that Funimation used, these actors and many other actors generally shined in their roles.
Yeah, me too!
Even though the dub used stock music from other dubs under AB Group, using music from other sources is not that uncommon, and I have nothing against the score. And suppose Ocean Group had the same production values they had with Funimation, Sabat, and Pioneer.
Yay! That's enough!
In that case, they would have blown us all away with the best English dub.
Do you just want to see a Super Saiyan, or should I take it up to the next level?
What's that?
Well, at least the Funimation actors got better in Dragon Ball Z Kai. And Dragon Ball Super and the recent movies.
Yes. Yes, they did. And of course, you don't need me to tell you that. And you don't need me to tell you how great they've been in the anime dubbing community. But hopefully I've given you my reasons as to why I and many other fans still appreciate Ocean Group to this day, because they really are talented and amazing actors, and they really took the right direction with these characters. Recently, these fans have received more spotlight, particularly at fan expos, which I'm glad to see.
Ally to good, nightmare to you!
For I am the son of a shepherd.
Any recognition I can give them, they deserve. And thanks so much for watching. If I could see all your faces, hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you still prefer Funimation's old in-house dub, that's perfectly fine. If Mondo Cool is still Mondo Cool to you, that's great. Truth is, there is no right or wrong way to enjoy Dragon Ball Z. At the very least, both dubs do have their own unique charm and merit. And at the end of the day, it's all about finding the dub that resonates most with you. Right?
Uh-oh, looks like our young presenter Bo may have stepped too far into dangerous territory, criticizing a much-beloved English dub of one of the most successful animated media franchises in the world.
It's all subjectional here.
Will he be able to escape the wrath of all the fans out there? Or has he given himself a one-way ticket to the next dimension? Find out on the next exciting episode of, or we can just find out right now and save ourselves over 24 episodes of endless fighting. Wow! Z Warrior, you are not.
They were never